Hey guys, I want to make a quick little video here, just talking about some little survival tips and stuff. If you find yourself in a real survival situation or whatnot, this little shelter here, depending on where you're at, may be ideal, it may not be. It's been raining a lot today. Everything's pretty much wet. As you can see though, there's where the fire was and whatnot. Obviously you need to make a little place you can put some firewood. You can put firewood in there, but for me, I just made it for my dogs. I was too lazy to make it a little wider, really. It's really not long enough for me, but anyway, let's get back to what I'm talking about. This right here, all this is just stuff that's around me. It's palmetto on the bottom. It's got pine needles and stuff on top. Nothing on top of that, nothing special. It's got leaves on top of that. And then it's got sticks, and then it has a little bit more leaves. And it's not even a lot of leaves. I barely even picked up that many leaves out here. There's still leaves everywhere, as you can see. And this is one pine tree I cut down, which you can find, if you had to and you didn't have anything, you could find sticks, just like I found sticks right there. No cordage or nothing needed for this. You can make, if you're in Florida, you need to make it better. I mean, if it's at night in the summertime or whatnot, honestly, I would, the bugs are real bad out here where I live, and especially if you're by water or anything like that, which you probably need to be near water in a survival situation. Put some leaves in there, not even much. I didn't even pack it off. I mean, this didn't take me very long at all. But anyway, take more sticks here, add around the sides. You need to close it off because the mosquitoes will kill you in Florida. And with all these viruses and stuff like that, you want to be safe from them. You will not sleep. When you don't sleep, you won't do much. Trust me, I have insomnia. I hardly ever sleep myself, even sleeping in bed. But it's soaked over there. But see, it's pretty dry under there, actually. It's another thing I was going to say. And there's a couple little wet spots over there. But it's good when it rains because it shows you where you need to add stuff. You want to make sure you cut anything that's overhanging here, because that water will hit that and drip down. It's just a simple, quick little shelter here. Just my little chair I can sit in, You can make that without really any cordage either. I mean, it doesn't take much. But in a real survival situation, it comes to food and stuff like that. You think about it, you got to look at what's around you. That's what survival's about. Seeing what's around you and working with what you got. Here in Florida, cactus is everywhere. There's little cactuses over there. Man, you can take a cactus, stick it on a stick, put it over a fire, and eat it. It's that simple. They got potassium and different things in it. Of course, you want to get the thorns off. There's common sense, real common sense when dealing with a cactus. There's spurge nettle right there. I can dig that up and eat it. These are smooth sumac plants, I believe. When they get older, they get the red berries on them. There's some around here with red berries already starting to get on them. You could take those and you can make smooth lemonade. Indian lemonade with. And yeah, so just think about what's around you. And if you can prepare, say you're not stuck, if you can't prepare some, I would honestly make me a little stick with a Y on it and go walking in the woods where most people won't go. Because you'll find snakes, dead trees, you can find bugs. You can use the bark off the dead trees to make a shelter. You can make pine needle tea. Those are pine needles right there. You can get them everywhere in Florida. These are all pine trees. Let's see, what else? There's that. I didn't write anything down. This is off the top of my head, so the video is probably going to shut off. It shut off on me earlier. I tried to make a little video, so I'm kind of glad it did because I can make this one a little bit longer. I deleted some stuff off there. Hopefully, stupid thing keeps cutting me off. But you make sure you have a knife. You definitely really need a knife. My dog jumped up here and was looking in there, getting some of the water. It's pretty funny. But make sure you have a knife, and if you really want to get a fire going, even when it's cold, when it's raining out, you find you a dead stick. Find you a nice dead stick. Make sure it's not half rotten like this. I don't mean rotten. It's rotten. But a dead stick, something that's still hard. You can also get these little sticks off the trees that are dead or whatnot that are pretty thick. These ain't dead enough. And you can make curl sticks out of them. You make curl sticks, or you find you a dead stump somewhere and you can knock the stump over. And there'll be stuff in there you can use sometimes, not all the time. Some people even make bow drills out of that type of wood. But yeah, guys, one of the main things you want to worry about in Florida, making a shelter, is being safe from the bugs. Another thing you can do if you're by railroad tracks, which is a good idea to me, I think. I don't know. I like being by the railroad tracks. If there's enough woods around them anyway. You could take your railroad rocks and you can throw them up underneath your bed. You can make a fire pit out of them, get hot rocks, throw them up underneath your bed, make an A-frame bed raised up, kind of like this, pretty much like that. You just make another A-frame and you put a pole in the back there, right there. You lean it up and you tie it together. Make sure these are longer so the stick can sit in the middle of them. They have to be longer. Put your notches out in the wood like I did here, but like I said, these are going to have to be longer so that pole can go like that down into the ground. Make sure that's a long pole, longer than these. And depending on how high you want it, you can adjust how high you want it. You can cut the notches. Like I cut notches in there. You can make the A like it's leaning now. You can make it lean back a little bit. This video is probably gonna cut me off probably. Yeah, you can make the A lean like this, pretty much like it is. You make you another one leaning the opposite way a little bit with the pole in the back, obviously. Most of the pressure is going to be on the back pole or whatnot. And then you take your sticks. Once you have one over here, you run sticks running lengthwise. You could put grass, you can put pine needles, you could put whatever you want on top. You know, get you some saplings, not real thick. You don't want big logs like that. You want the big stuff for your frame. The little one is going to be, you can have a bigger one there, it doesn't really matter, but you don't want it to cut too far into the wood. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to cut too far in the wood where you got something big like this trying to make a notch. You have to cut a huge notch in that and a huge notch in that. It's just double work. You don't need it. I mean, it'll be plenty strong enough. That stick right there, that's an oak stick. That'll be plenty strong enough to hold you. And that's another thing. I use pine here. It's not best to use pine, but I threw pine needles and stuff on top of it. You know, when you're laying on it, pine sap. You got to think about that. You got to think about these things. You know, that's why it's good to watch some of these videos and stuff, because that way you don't have to learn from experience like me being an idiot and going out and just trying to do all this stuff from memory and like, oh, I just need long sticks and I'll just cut down pines and there you go. I did that because they're straight and it was just one tree. Over there's the stump. Way over there, I cut down that little tree there. It's my little saw. And it's another thing, guys. You need to have a saw. It's really important. I think a saw might be, in some cases, it's more important than a freaking knife. I mean, well, maybe not more important than a knife, but a saw. I got this little thing here you can lay on. I just had this laying around. I had it in my van. I lived in my van for a while. It was to block the windows and stuff and trying to keep the light out. It's very hard to live in a van without an AC. That's another thing. You know, you got to think about where you're at and the heat and this, that, and the other. You don't want to get too hot. You want to stay cool. Make sure you're somewhere where you don't have to walk too far. There's soup kitchens nearby. There is, this is if you're homeless. Make sure there's soup kitchens nearby. You got your food stamps. You go to the library during the day to get out some so you don't go crazy. You can look up stuff at the library. You can print things out. Well, it usually costs money to print things out. It's like 10 cents a page, but you can always go to the library and do something, get on Facebook or something like that. But you know, if you just ever get sick of stuff, you need to get away, or you have an illness or something, you got injured like I did, and you're kind of forced into the situation, you have to learn how to adapt so you don't kill yourself, because you're thinking about killing yourself all the time, you know. It's really hard when you have injuries to deal with situations like this. That's why I'm making these videos. Part of the reason why, and I also fear things are going south when it comes to government and everything else. And that's another topic for another day. I don't even want to really get into that. It's just too much crap, and people like to argue, and I don't really care about arguing. Stick to the facts. But anyway, guys, quick little video. I think that's about all I got to say right now. Running out of things to, brain's not thinking too well now. Anyway, guys, well, have a good day. Oh wait, oh, they're fighting. No, they're just playing around. Everybody thinks pit bulls are mean dogs, but no, they just like to play. They like to play. They get too rowdy, I tell them to stop. Anyway, guys, have a good day.